Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and we have news. We moved houses and we're very happy, but this video, it's not about our moving experience at all. This video is about
how attached we are to our material possessions and how we don't realize it. And it's just a topic we've been talking about, and it's pre-breakfast time, so we're going to bring you back into the kitchen. So stay tuned for more.
welcome. All right, so this and this. So we moved into a smaller place. We were living in a bigger place than this. Maybe we live it now in half of the
Actually,
size.
yeah, double, yeah. Half the size now.
Yeah. So that comes with a little bit of challenges
Yeah.
and a strong planning skills, because you want it to be as smooth as possible, right? I think it's easier when you move to a bigger place because
course,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
about filling up spaces. But when you move to a smaller place, it requires more thinking
Yeah, yeah.
and planning. And one of the things that we did that I think helped,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
With decluttering, we did a big declutter.
decluttering.
We decluttered our place this summer, which was a really great thing to do in summer. So yeah, of course, moving from the larger home to a smaller home, it's a very cozy home, but every object has its place, and everything is very intentional. So yeah, the decluttering, we had criteria for that, of course. Our main criteria was, did we or did we not use it in the past 6 months?
Yep.
And the thing is, like, your brain always tries to convince you and say, oh, but keep it because you never know, you might need it in this one event.
Right.
Or like for me with the drum gear, it was a big thing because I had so many peripherals or hardware, let's say, and it was just sitting and gathering dust. And as I was taking it down to give it away, it was like, my brain was like, no, but what if one day you need it for one event, or you play for another? If you haven't used it in 6 months, you're not going to use it. You're not going to use it. It's not useful to your day-to-day life.
And that leads us to the actual realization that we had, which is how attached we are to our material possessions. You mentioned it at the beginning. And how we create this narrative and add extra value to our material possessions, to do things to protect it, to protect these material things. So you are willing to pay sometimes the price of a bigger place because the amount of possessions that you need space to storage.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you actually not using those things much.
Yeah.
It's a whole illusion. And as we went in the declaring in the summer, we were like, wow, why are we that attached to these things that are really not important,
Yeah. It's
Not
providing
important.
no extra value besides sentimental value, perhaps.
And let me tell you, there are things like there are objects and material possessions that really have value and sentiment meaning for you. I don't know, a painting that your mother gave you, something that you keep from your childhood. I'm not talking necessarily about that, but sometimes we just add this attachment out of no story behind,
Like, well, a good example is having 5 black shirts. They're all the same. It's the same kind of black shirt, not even different shades of black. Why do you have 5 black shirts?
Exactly.
And you don't want to throw one of those shirts or give one of those shirts away because no, I'm using what? No,
Exactly.
You're not using them. You need 2 good quality ones, and that's it.
So it's been another realization, and actually we're very happy about it. And you know, I realized, and I don't know if it's for you too, but I realized, as scary as emptiness might sound and might feel, it's required to create a space for the new.
What do you mean emptiness?
The emptiness, like when you get rid of some of these material things, there is an emptiness, right? Oh, I have less. When you get rid of something and create that space, there is a little emptiness inside.
I don't feel that. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
100%. But there is because we are in this already stage of, I don't know, getting more minimalist, etc. But at first, it could create, depending on which journey you are of your life, it could create that thing of like, but I don't have enough. There is a little fear of emptiness.
Oh, you know? Yeah. I mean, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you could perhaps say that, you know, now sharing with people, oh, you moved to a smaller place might seem like a bit of a failure or a step backwards, where if you're preparing for something, or if you have a goal in mind and there's a purpose for why you're moving to a smaller place or a cozy place, or maybe it's even just an intentional move where you say, we don't need all the space that we're not using, that we're just paying for, just to say you have a room or a house this size, you know. So I think that's also very important to note.
Okay, so we had breakfast. Amazing. We love breakfast, by the way. We love preparing and have a variety of food. But okay, going back to the topic. So the big realization came to us when we compared our previous moving with this one. And that previous moving was 2.5 years ago. And how sometimes we go the extra mile and pay unreasonable amounts of money to protect these possessions in a way that it's a human, it's a baby, right?
Yeah.
And our last moving was like that. So Lance found this super pro company that will take care of everything super well. And out of that fear as well, we didn't allow that company to even unpack properly. We told them, no, leave it there. We will do it. Again, control because of fear.
And this was in like the busiest month of it was in December.
January.
For us. January. So we were like, it took us, I think, 1.5 weeks to unpack.
Long,
Yes.
Very long. I was in the middle of Beyonce's concert.
Yeah.
And right now was such a different experience. We went not to the cheapest option, neither the most expensive one. I think it was reasonable, with a good reputation, etc. But knowing that if something breaks, it's what it needs to happen. Those things are built to be broken one day.
Yeah, because that's the justification, right? That's the theory behind it, is to say that, okay, if you get a very reputable company that will of course cost you more, they will really take care of your possessions and you won't need to buy it again. It's exactly like you say, it has a shelf life, and yeah, we pay more value to the item than what it actually is.
Yes.
Like for example, I remember this used to happen a lot before. I'm not sure if it still happens, but back in the day, if you're wearing a pair of white shoes was a thing, and you maybe walking somewhere. Let's say you're walking to the club, and someone just maybe touches you on the side. Oh man, it's a thing, because you know
My white
that
shoes.
you just got a nick in the front of the shoe, and then oh no, it's a black mark. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's true. And
Or it's a fight right there.
I remember
you
that.
want some?
So this moving was a long day. It was a very long day. But I think actually it's the first moving experience, and we have had 3 in Dubai so far, where I think we will remember every part of it, which means we were present, we were actually observing how they were doing their job without trying to control how to pack something that it's so important, knowing that no, they know, detach
Yeah, and
from, and even you said it, but there is a big difference, and this is what this video is about, that before we were way more attached to that room, to what we own in terms of material things, to everything, to the point that a rack for hanging the laundry could become, a thing to say, like, no, but be careful because I don't want to buy another.
This idea that we have in our minds perhaps comes from our grandparents and our parents as well. Yeah, because they were still part of that time where industries made things to last. That was even part of the advertising or marketing slogan, built to last, or buy this
For life.
for life. I can't think of more that comes to mind, but yeah, there was plenty. Quality you can trust. There's quite a few slogans like that. But in today's day and age, I don't think things are made that way. And also we've become very materialistic as a society. We're even not like being careful that if you drive the same car for 5 to 10 years, it's also okay, And you don't need to add a second and a third car and a fourth car,
Yeah, I think it's the era of not enough. We are in that period of not enough. No, you also want to, it's all with balance, but at the end of the day, the question and the realization for us is how much value are we adding to our material possessions, and what is a healthy value to that. For
Correct.
example, this cup, my mother sent it to me from Cuba. It has way more value than this for me, but for Lance, this one is our first cup that we bought from the moment that we started living together, so it has more value for you. So there is value, of course, we need to take care of, but until also a limit where it will break one day, and maybe it doesn't, because everything has a lifespan. Span. So how much real value are we adding to our possessions, and how are we maintaining a healthy balance where we say, this is useful, I love this, I love my pots, I love my shoe rack, it's very functional, I want it to last a lot, but I understand it's just a shoe rack.
Yes.
I don't need to go the extra mile, because also we're not here trying to remove value of things and create a complete detachment like nothing matters. No, it matters. My fridge matters. Our bed, it's like one of the children of this house. But there has to be a limit where taking care of that doesn't become a stress. And this is something that we, luckily for us, we experienced in this moving. We were able to, please take care of a bed, but still not controlling how to. It was actually a moment where the guy was struggling with the bed itself, and something was a little bit, I'm like, wow. And I was surprised how I was able to leave the room.
Yeah.
I'm realizing this now.
Me too, yeah.
And start and keep packing up other things. And eventually 30 minutes after, I entered again and I said, oh, you did it. Amazing.
I thought he broke the bed. I thought it was broken.
But in another moment, we will have created a whole thing out of that fear. So the question here, to also not extend ourselves that much, because we can be long, it's what is a healthy relationship to maintain with our material possessions.
This is very true. What purpose does this possession serve? Yeah, because let's take this guy's AirPod, whatever it's called. Those are quite expensive, where we have something that's a third of the price. It serves the same purpose. it plays music or podcast, or you're able to listen to whatever you need to listen to while you're running, jogging, whatever. But because he's like almost triple the price, probably triple the price, he's attached now more value to that than the purpose for what it's used for. And I believe it's the same with cars as well, which I don't want to get into, but you know, a car is meant to take you from point A to point B, but what is the purpose of this possession? I think that's very important
very
to remember.
important.
And how much money and importance am I giving to this? Because I have an option of buying the latest AirPod, or I have an option of buying a $20 little thing
For the same use.
for the same purpose. So that comparison and that
Rationalizing things, you know, asking yourself those questions.
it needs to be established. It needs to be established.
Yeah. 100%. We're gonna leave you with this. We're gonna leave you with these questions, I think.
Yeah.
How much value are you adding to your material possessions? And do you have a healthy relationship with that, where you love it still, but you are able to understand this is an object that is serving you, but you don't need to go the extra mile to protect it, you know? It's not your kid. And how detached are you to your material possessions that you are still able to see its purpose?
Yeah.
We will leave you with that, and if you have the answer, leave us some comments, because it means a lot for us, and hope you enjoy the videos.
Yeah.
And yeah, we upload weekly, and we love the new place. So thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Bye.